guys, it's Hot Gaming. So basically what happened is, this was originally supposed to be on my profile, this video series of Let's Play Pokemon. Now what happened is that basically my main Ninja Itsu and I go back. We are both Czechs living in the US state of Texas. I'm from Olomouc and he's from Plzeň, but nonetheless, you know, we're cool like that. And so basically what happened is we realised that, number one, I go back to Czech Republic a lot and spend some time there, so I can't really, you know, consistently post forth. And number two is that I don't get the hour-long upload time, and that was pretty much going to be the whole theme of the Let's Play. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically this gameplay was done by me, and all the gameplays were of course done by him, but this episode he's allowed me to go ahead and finish up this episode, and I'm probably going to be doing a lot more of the series of gameplays and commentaries. Now he showed me all the things that are necessary for me to know, such as, you know, where he's at, what kind of Pokemon he has and all that. So this right here, I've got to kind of know all of them, and I wrote a save state and went around with them a little bit and got to know what they can do, and so I'm pretty confident. Also there's a gym battle, longest Pokemon battle I've ever had in my life in this video. It was like 23-24 minutes, and I went ahead and shortened it. That's why this video is, rather than being around an hour and 4 minutes long, it is 52 minutes 54 seconds and 73 milliseconds. The reason is that I had to make it around what was it? I'm actually in the Czech Republic right now. I'm just gonna send the files to him. But what's it? How long did it take? Oh yeah. Well, point is, it starts in a minute, and I 4 times speeded it so that it wouldn't be a problem to showing the video, because I'm pretty sure no one would really, the few people that actually want to view an hour long video is going on what I view 23 minutes of it being that kind of thing. So pretty soon, no, never mind, I'm sorry, it's one chunk of a clip after this is when the battle actually starts. But anyways, I'm basically going to be doing a majority of the commentaries and gameplays for the rest of the series, and so yeah, I just shouted at my main ninjutsu, and you know, thanks for featuring me, thanks for hosting my video series, and good luck to you in your YouTube, hopefully, fame. Anyways, I can't stray from what he does, which is he normally tells stories about what's going on in his life while the gameplay plays, and I'm a bit different in the fact that in that category of, you know, what I talk about is normally actual narration. No offense to the guy, because he actually does have some interesting stories, but anyways, so basically what happens is now I'll take on Cool Trainer Zine and it's Kecleon. Now I'm pretty sure, yeah, this was the Coal Mine one, because none of my attacks did that much to him, and he always could have changed. And on top of that, this baby Lugia, for those who are unaware, it's required to get maximum friendship before it evolves, and that means you want the least amount of faints possible, especially faints. You want the least amount of stat conditions ever even afflicted, let alone staying there. So what I want to kind of, you know, go over is that's why I kept using Coal Mine, is because it was making his faint attack do less, but my attacks would do more, and that's kind of a bit of a big thing there for me, because I'm pretty sure I HK'd him after that. So just launches another fighting attack and Coal Mine again. I use the PP, no pun intended, the PowerPoint counter to tell exactly what's going on with the coal mines, because when you use coal mine, it goes up to, just like every other stat, a maximum of +6 for each start. But moves like sword dance would only allow you 3 because it raises it by 2 every time instead of 1 like coal mine. But most of the guys that are watching hacks, as Ryan has mentioned, are very savvy, it's safe to say, on this kind of thing. I find it pretty bizarre about how meta type is fighting psychic type, and the fact that many people forget, including myself, that that means psychic type moves like confusion are neutral with it, because instead of it being a one hit kill, wait, what am I saying, one hit kill, instead of it being a just a pure psychic type, like it actually has the appearance of one, it has that ability to go and negate one of its strengths, which would be a half damage from psychic type moves, especially with the freaking OU gameplay with Akazam and all the psychic legendaries. It would really be a nice addition if they would go ahead and just make it a fighting type, but the thing is, they've already developed it and almost no one uses it. I actually quite like the thing, but no one uses it, so I'm not really going to bother arguing a point that cannot be argued. Plus, it's not like any of the Game Freak producers are going to watch this. Damn it. Let's see, what else, what was happening? Oh yeah, this is the match that, this is literally because of the, what was it? I already had a speed up from the spacebar little trick that MMA Ninjutsu taught me, and this is the battle sped up. Trust me, it was so tedious for me, but I was checking it on, it's really tough. Anyways, he goes and it's 4 times sped up, and it's 4 times sped up by the spacebar, so all in all this is about 8 times sped up, and this battle has about another 5 minutes left in it, I think. Anyways, so basically what happened is I was trying to, where was I at? I was trying to make the mud slap make his uppercut miss, and that's exactly actually what happened. And then that takes him out in 1 hit. I was like, oh crap, I should have done that the whole time. The Charizard comes out, and this is a bitch. Why? Because none of the ground types that I mainly use work. And so basically this whole match I kept resetting so that I could get the critical hits, because to defeat a Pokemon that you have one even moderately effective move against, and it's that many levels above you, and the trainer has 2 hyper potions, it's just a hellish process, let's say. It's the simplest way to put it, but yeah, I kept striving for that crit and I couldn't get it. It's hard to get. What, 5 crits, 6 crits in a row? It's crazy. I don't know exactly why I tried so hard, but actually paid off kind of, because we do get past this in the walkthrough, and it is really great feeling that I was able to pull that off. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm just once again telling stories about what actually happened, but versus what's actually going on in the video. But you know, there's not really much narrator. Great, Charizard took out Baby Lugia. There goes a lot of friendship points. You know what really sucks is statistically the mechanics of the game, how it if you lose, if you faint and you have higher friendship with the Pokemon, then you will pretty much lose double of what you normally would. So for example, if your Lugia hates you, then you won't really lose that much for fainting, but you lose like half of what you gain, literally like 20 friendship points out of 255 possible, just over that. And hold up, my cat has not learned yet not to climb on things. Be right back. Oh, sorry, mutton chops is been disciplined. Anyway, so let's get back to what do. Basically, at this point, I'm trying to survive whatever he throws at me, and basically hope that he messes or something, just do the least damage possible. And he does so without paralysis, and then I realise that that's not even going to stop him. This puts me right on the edge of death, and once again, now I have nothing I can use. And then I realised that that flamethrower put me right on the edge, but did not kill me. Therefore, that whole, like, not really a good chunk of the battle, but with Charizard, but a good bit of the last part of the battle with Charizard, I could have just toughed out the flamethrower and thrown a non-critical water gun, which would have saved me a long and lengthy hellish process, but nonetheless. So this is that chick that I'll take a while guess has a crush on me, because she's like stalking me every single time I turn the corner in this dumb town. She's looking right at us. Anyway, aside from my senseless battling, time to get back to what's actually going on. So what really interested me is, why would you buy the revival herb? Because I realised in a battle it doesn't actually fully revive. It half revives like a revive, but costs twice as much and harms your friendship. Why would you do this? There are other herbs that you can use to harm friendship, whatever motive you'd have for that. How many different ways that you could get a cheaper revive of that? It's like, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense to me. Oh well. If it doesn't make sense to an intellectualist, then Game Freak's in trouble. Regardless, I got my head and bought all these lava cookies because they're pretty much very, very cheap full heals, and I freaking love them. Like, seriously, anyone that can get a bunch of lava cookies, do it. Do it. I can't recommend anything I can't recommend them in any of a more subtle way than that. And the reason I'm using senseless babbling again is because this is a pretty, once again, boring process. It's buying lava cookies, and you have to buy one a piece and scroll through all the text. Honestly, the only reason MMA Ninjutsu probably lifts the battle scenes on the battle, whatever they're called, in the options menu, to where you can actually see the animations behind the attacks, is so that you guys aren't completely bored, because then all it would be was you be watching text and listening to the two of us senselessly babble, and I do plenty of that. So does he. No offense to MMA Ninjutsu, I do the exact same thing. Anyways, that was a bit of unnecessary emphasis, but exact same thing. I'm gonna get trialed. I'm going to get you trialed in MMA Ninjutsu. Well, now that I'm on a roll with it, might as well. Need something to do. That's the one part that sucks worst about these videos, is I can't put in something that will make the video have to get audio swapped. I have to narrate it. Thanks a lot, MMA Ninjutsu. You passed on the task to me, and I honestly am obliged to just shut up, put in some music, and leave it at that. In fact,
haters can make like bees with no stingers and drop dead. I feel amazing and I'm not afraid.
oh, that was a nice little break. Anyways, the Ryan's gonna kill me. Not only did I put in a song that substituted for some of the audio, but then I put in an Eminem song, and while it is fun to be a fellow Japanese speaker like him and understand that rock man music, most of YouTube won't, as it is American based. They mostly only speak English and will not go after copyright for that. They will, however, go after copyright for Eminem. Therefore, Ryan's going to absolutely decimate me. Happy day. I'm gonna ship him this project file, email it to him, whatever he's comfortable with, and if it gets removed, I'll just go ahead and give him this, then stick my head in the ditch for 20 years. I'm being a little over dramatic, am I not? Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm like him, I normally do these reviews at very, very early in the morning. Therefore, I am not completely mentally there. And I just looked at the counter and it's 16 minutes in or so, and we have quite a little bit of time left, so it's gonna be hell to finish this up. I'm sorry I keep using that word. It's a 2-hour process minimal, because what you have to do is you have to record, then you have to go on to the Windows Movie Maker, then you have to narrate it, then you have to take out all the parts, and in fact, you know what, honestly, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to go ahead and do all you guys a favour, and myself. I'm going to shift your attention for a couple of seconds and give me a couple of seconds to think of an excuse of why I couldn't think of anything. Yes, I just confused myself as well. I understand it's clearly not something I'm good at, thinking on the fly. That's why I don't get why he does these videos, like how I can be good at them. Got to think, I guess. Okay, well, I'm seriously getting bored. There's not much to say here, just a bunch of Puccinis popping out. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to go up to a random source of music and go ahead and get my head cut off.
MJD Beats. 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 MJD Beats.
Well, now that I've destroyed this video and Ryan's reputation, I bid you a decent adieu.